The classified documents stashed at Mar-A-Lago were so sensitive that the FBI feared, in the wrong hands, they could expose human intelligence sources. In other words, spies who were helping the United States. And the feds needed to get those documents back, and fast. That's just one of the big revelations from the newly released affidavit from the search of the former president's Florida home. It lays out the FBI's justification for taking such drastic, unprecedented action. It's heavily redacted, but it does provide new insight. The affidavit describes the federal government's months-long battle to retrieve a trove of classified material that Mr. Trump took with him to Mar-A-Lago when he left office. Some of those documents were at the highest levels of classification possible. The kind of documents that need to be stored in a super-secret government facility, not in a private resort club. The affidavit reveals the Justice Department became alarmed back in January when Mr. Trump turned over 15 boxes of documents after months of government pressure. In those boxes, the FBI found 184 documents with classification markings, 25 of them marked top secret. And the feds knew that Mr. Trump still had more classified material stashed away at Mar-A-Lago, according to the affidavit. In their request for the search, FBI agents told the judge there was probable cause to believe Mr. Trump still possessed classified national security documents that he was refusing to give back. The feds said there was also probable cause to believe they could find evidence of criminal obstruction during their search. The big questions that remain are, why did Mr. Trump want these documents? What were these documents all about? And why did Mr. Trump insist on keeping them, even when the government demanded them back? We'll have analysis from a former federal prosecutor. First to CNBC's Ylan Moy. Ylan, what else are we learning from this affidavit?
Well, Shep, the DOJ said that it had to redact all of that information to protect the multiple people who were helping it, as well as the investigation itself. In a separate filing that was also unsealed today, the Justice Department cited the safety and privacy of a significant number of civilian witnesses and law enforcement personnel. It said they could face intimidation, harassment, even threats to their physical safety if identified. The Justice Department also warned that the affidavit is replete with details that could provide a roadmap for obstructing the investigation. In fact, the FBI was worried that if some of this information became public, people might try to flee, destroy evidence, or tip off others. On his social media platform, Trump dismissed this news as a political attack. A newly released letter from his attorney shows they argue that Trump demonstrated good faith in turning over those 15 boxes of papers back in January. They also maintain that he has the authority to declassify information and that the law prohibiting the removal and retention of those classified documents, it doesn't apply to him. Today, President Biden said it's up to the DOJ to determine if there was a national security risk at Mar-A-Lago, but that he has a special place at his home in Delaware for sensitive material, like his daily briefing.
I have in my home a cabined-off space that is completely secure. I'm taking home with me today today's PDD. It's locked. I have a person with me, military with me. I read it, I lock it back up, and give it to the military.
But Congress wants answers, Shep. Already, the Senate Intelligence Committee is asking for a damage assessment from any mishandled information at Mar-A-Lago.
CNBC's Ylan Moy live in Washington.